How do you keep track of your money? You've been feeling a little financially frustrated lately, like your money's slipping through your fingers and you have nothing left to show for at the end of the month. Trust me, I've been there at times and I actually feel that way right now. Fortunately, there is an answer. We're gonna crack the code on budgeting, bust those savings myths that you'll never save enough, that you always need to use debt to live life. So get ready to take control of your cash and finally say peace out to financial stress. Stay tuned. Hey there, Sean with Gym Class Finance. I've recently started a side financial coaching business, so if debt has you stressed, keeping up with a budget, starting a budget, or maybe you just need a financial checkup, I'll leave a link below in the comments and in the description for how you can connect with me to get started on getting a hold of your finances. But more on that later. Anyway, this video is all about managing money. So with that said, let's start there with tracking your money, otherwise known as living on a budget. I don't know if you'll find this surprising or not, but it is estimated that 75% of Americans actually do live on a budget. Some would even say that number's up to 83%. But I'm here to tell you there are a lot of people who don't, and it's okay. There's always a good time to start, and that's right now. So there are a variety of options out there. There's Excel, there's budgeting apps, there's even writing it out. There's beautiful trackers that you can buy on Etsy. There's the envelope system. Everyone wants our attention, but until you get a couple things straight, you'll be lost on how to actually get started. So before you choose one of those, let's get a couple things straight. You're gonna need to organize your life first, so let's start with that. The first thing I want you to do is to sit down with yourself or with your spouse and think about everything that you spend money on. Think about what you put on a credit card. We put so many things on them, it can be exhausting. So think about what is automated or is automatically coming out of your accounts. You don't even think about those things, or at least I don't. I want you to write it out so that you know exactly what is coming out of those accounts and how much is coming out of those accounts. Go through all of your accounts, your credit cards, your bank accounts, wherever money comes from, and unsubscribe from any unused subscriptions. I promise you're gonna probably need about a month to really get yourself organized. Then you can officially start a budget. The first thing I hear people say is, I wanna jump right into this. And I'm okay with that. I really do like the eagerness, the wanting to go ahead and do it, but truly living on a budget does take time, does take some cleaning up, and it does take some hard work. It takes dedication. It's gonna also take some focus. So now you're to the point where you have taken a look at how much you've been spending in all areas of your life, all of your accounts. Now we need to talk categories. There may be several things that fall under one category. And so this is where you can be as specific as you want or really non-specific as you want. It really depends on you and your personality. For example, some people include groceries and restaurant in one category. Others like to separate the two. If going out to eat too much is a weakness of yours, then I would suggest separating the two into their own categories to really focus on cutting down on that. It's also a good idea to separate your categories into what line items are going to change per month and what items are set and for the most part not going to change. For example, your internet and your phone bill are probably going to be consistent, but your electricity bill is going to fluctuate depending on the time of year. That is if you don't get on their budgeting that you can do with the electric company. All right, the next step, now that we've broken down our budgeting categories, we now need to add up all those budgeted items to see how much you have in expenses per month. And at the same time, you need to determine how much you make in income per month. Your take-home pay plus any other side hustles or sources of income per month. Now, if a side hustle fluctuates, maybe use a number that you are fairly sure you can make so that those months that you make extra are like bonus to your budget. Obviously, the goal is that your income is more than your expenses. And if not, you're most likely struggling month to month and will continue to struggle unless you either A, find a way to make more money, or B, you decrease your spending in certain areas of your budget. Now, we've not touched on debt. That's for a different video. But if you have debt, you want to make sure you're accounting for any of those payments as well. So how do we keep track of this from month to month? You need to decide which tool you want to use for your zero-based budget. Zero-based meaning every month you start at zero. You may have some extra left from the month before, and that's great because you can then use that to replenish your various categories for the next month. Now, if you're super new to all of this, I'm going to highly recommend the old school envelope system. Now, I know we don't live in the 19th century, but the envelope system is a proven method to budget where you literally automate any reoccurring bills or payments and have the specified amount of money for the month in their specific envelope. Now, for example, my fun money envelope may have $100 cash My food budget may have $800. That means I am paying in cash for everything that is not automated. Yes, you heard that right, you're paying with cash. It's definitely gonna feel weird at first, but it will really discipline you and it will help you to really get focused on what you're spending your hard-earned cash on. One thing to remember as you're creating your envelopes is to make sure you also create an extra envelope with the words bank on them. This is a place where you can temporarily put money that is left over from the month in before it is redistributed to its correct categories for the following month. All right, so maybe the envelope system is not for you, which I know it's not for everyone, but I highly suggest it. If it's not, you may want to consider a budgeting app. There are free ones and there are some that cost money. I'll go ahead and put those on the screen. Before I forget, I have reviewed several of these on our other channel. I will leave links below in the description to the videos so that you can sign up for them and check them out to make sure it's one of the apps you want to use. There's definitely no one perfect budgeting app, but as you will be able to see from the videos, each one has some strengths, some weaknesses, and you'll just need to decide which one works best for your specific needs. Some track your income and expenses by linking your different bank accounts to their platform, which definitely takes some of the headaches of keeping a budget out of your life. Now, there are also many budgeting options on places like Etsy where you can download a pretty template. I say pretty because they are usually nice looking if using a variety of cards and cash is better for you. You can always create your own Excel sheets or buy other Excel sheets if that is what you're into. But just remember, it'll be on you to input all of your expenses each month. All right, so there you have it. Those are just the basics of starting a budget, but I know you can do it. Now, if you still are unsure, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have recently started doing some financial coaching, and a big part of that is helping people to start a budget. So if you do want someone that is by your side as you take the plunge to living on a budget, you can book an hour Zoom call or in person if you're local. There's also the option for some additional check-ins. That's really just to make sure you're off to a good start. You see, you're not fully paying for extra knowledge, even though you might get some of that, but rather you're having someone walk beside you, help you navigate what it means to live on a budget, or start to hammer that debt if that's something you need to work on. So often we know exactly what to do, but actually doing it is the problem. So having some accountability with someone who is checking on you is definitely the key. All right, I'm done plugging my coaching business. But if you want to learn more, please check out the link in the description and also the pinned comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.